The Virginia Horse Industry Board and the Virginia Christmas Tree Growers Association are proud sponsors of Virginia farming.
This program's brought to you by the Virginia Farm Bureau. Large or small, Virginia farmers work year-round to help put food on your table. And Farm Bureau works year-round to help farmers and all Virginians. Farming, it's all good. To learn more, go to vafarmbureau.org.
Hi everybody, welcome to Virginia Farming. I'm Amy Rocher. Today we travel to Lexington and find out what's happening at the Virginia Horse Center. Then Mark Viette shares tips on summer pruning when we go in the garden. We'll also have the Ag Calendar and a Minute in the Field video. All this plus the Ag News of the Week on this edition of Virginia Farming. June is Dairy Month, and milk is the official beverage of Virginia and the state's third-ranked farm commodity. Virginia is home to 640 dairy farms and an estimated 95,000 dairy cows. According to the Southeast United Dairy Industry Association, Virginia dairy cows produce an average of 7 gallons of milk per day and over 200 million gallons of milk a year. Virginia is ranked 23rd nationwide for milk production. Well, the birthplace of 1973 Triple Crown champion Secretariat, located in the Meadow Event Park in Caroline County, has been named to the National Register of Historic Places by the National Park Service. The announcement couldn't be more timely, as American Pharoah just last week became the first horse since 1978 to win the Triple Crown. Now, American Pharoah is a great-great-great-grandson of Secretariat, who broke a 25-year drought in winners when he captured the Triple Crown in 1973. Well, when U.S. beef competes around the globe, quality is a major advantage. In this segment, Cindy Campbell talks about today's export trade.
You can't compete on price when much of the world can produce it cheaper. That's why quality is the mantra when U.S. beef goes global.
In the foreign markets, of course, we are competitors with other beef countries. And our high quality beef really puts us in a different spot than them. So quality grades actually are very important. It is another way in which we do market U.S. beef is under the USDA quality grades. We do a lot of training on what those mean, and it becomes a recognizable brand or name in foreign markets.
High quality brands like Certified Angus beef see growing opportunities overseas. CAB sold 120 million pounds into the global marketplace this last year.
We traditionally look at the export markets as being byproducts, and even some of the hides, of course, would come to mind, and some of the other type of byproducts. But it's incredibly valuable to the premium side of the beef market as well. And for the Certified Angus beef brand, we do sell a lot. We actually sold product last year into 80 countries. 40 of those were very active in terms of the amount that they buy. It's about 13.5% of our premium brand, and so it's very, very important to utilize cuts and utilize that total carcass that has to occur.
The brand's top international targets are Canada, Mexico, Hong Kong, Japan, and Korea. But in the last decade, it has expanded into popular tourist areas in the Caribbean and in South America.
We actually are selling a fair bit of product into Peru, Colombia as an example, a little bit into Chile, and those markets have grown a lot in the last couple of years, and we think in terms of the upside, because premium products are still unique to their market. They're big beef-eating countries, and they look for a high-quality type product. So that's been a very good part of the global market for our brand.
Exports added $352 per head to the value of each animal in 2014.
Well, U.S. beef is known for the high quality that it provides and the eating satisfaction that is very enjoyable by almost all consumers. U.S. beef is something that is very versatile in a lot of different cooking styles or cuisines all over the world. It may have to be cut differently than what we are customary to here in the United States, but it can be utilized in just about any kind of a market all over.
The beef industry continues to face challenges like market access, currency exchange rates, and even shipping logistics, Clayton says, but his long-term outlook is still optimistic. I'm Cindy Campbell.
Thanks, Cindy. The USDA's Food Waste Challenge is taking off with more than 4,000 participants registered as of the end of April. These businesses, schools, and organizations from across the country are working to reduce food loss and waste in their operations. And they've taken the time to join the U.S. Food Waste Challenge by sharing their activities on the USDA Food Waste Challenge website or working with EPA experts to measure their food waste reductions through the Food Recovery Challenge. Now, 2 of those participants are Albertsons and Safeway. They load up wholesome excess food for food banks, or divert bone, fat, and used cooking oil to recycling outlets, or implement just-in-time ordering to prevent waste before it happens. 72 million pounds of food was donated in 2013. Now, if you're interested, the U.S. Food Waste Challenge website has tips on reducing, recovering, and recycling food waste, and forms to join the challenge. Well, Lexington is home to the largest equine facility on the East Coast. Today we'll talk to Interim Director Glenn Petty and learn more about this magnificent facility. That's straight ahead on Ag Insights. Today we're visiting Lexington, Virginia at the beautiful Virginia Horse Center. I'm joined by Interim Director Glenn Petty. Glenn, thanks so much for having us down today.
Thanks for coming.
It's gorgeous here. I'd really like to get some information before we get into the Horse Center just about the equine industry and its impact on the Commonwealth.
The total economic impact was estimated in 2010 at $1.2 billion. So it's a very big business. 65 million in state and local taxes and 16,000 jobs are the most commonly remembered numbers.
Wow. That's no small drop in the bucket.
It's not, and you know, as horse states go, we're 5th in the United States in total economic and I think total numbers of horses. So we have over 200,000 and we count them every couple of years to make sure. And so it's a big industry. It plays a big role in agriculture and a big role in the preservation of green space. It's a traditional industry. It's hands-on. It's very resource intensive. And, you know, we're obviously tremendously loyal to it because it's very important to what we do.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about the Horse Center. How long has it been here?
It's almost 29 years old, and it's starting to show some signs of our age. You know, we need to do a lot of capital improvements and deferred maintenance, but the central structures here are so strong and so well designed. They were built by horse people for horse people, and so they really are rock solid. And the real strength of this center, which is one of the top 4 in North America, is the actual facilities. We have 19 rings, we have an indoor coliseum with 4,000 seats, we have 753 at last count permanent stalls, we can bring in more temporaries, and so it's just, we can do almost anything here that you would want to do with a horse.
It's a huge complex. Driving around looking at it before we started talking, I was amazed at how large it really is.
As we like to say, I wouldn't want to dust it. I mean, and that is it. The upkeep is tremendous. It is a very large, it takes a lot of people, it takes a lot of time, and you have to have experts on everything. You got to have lawnmower guys that are experts, you got to have people who know how to drag the ring, you got to have people who can fix the plumbing. I mean, our ops meetings it's like running a little city.
So 29 years ago when this facility was built, what was its original purpose?
Same purpose that it is now. I mean, the charter says to promote equine disciplines, and the way you would promote equine disciplines is have horse shows and have events for those disciplines. And so it started out doing exactly what we're doing now. We're just doing more of it and many more disciplines. And it's unusual. The Horse Center here is one of the few that has multiple discipline events. Not unusual for a horse center to focus on quarter horses or hunter jumpers or one particular thing, but we do everything here. And so that's where, as it's developed, we have a great 3-day event course across the road. We do dressage, we do hunter jumper, we do quarter horse, we do barrel racing, we do pasafinos, we do everything under the sun. We do horses I've never actually heard of yet. So we do all the disciplines and promote all of them, and I think that's kind of our role as an economic engine, is to keep all these folks busy and doing their business.
Do you think that's something that sets this horse center apart from other horse centers in the country?
I think the fact that we're not so specific on a particular discipline definitely sets us off. And we're trying to expand into other areas that we're not in now. As we expand our reach, I want to do more for quarter horses and more for, different disciplines that we're not really strong in. We're very strong in the saddle horses and the hunter jumpers, 3-day and dressage. And then, we have a couple of quarter horse shows a year, but quarter horses are the most popular breed in the United States. So we reached out today to a quarter horse expert and said, what should we be doing?
Is this the largest equine center on the East Coast?
I believe it is. There are equine centers in Maryland, in Pennsylvania, and there are several in North Carolina. But the fact that there are 2 and about to be 3 there, they're all smaller. We have definitely more arenas and definitely more stalls than any of them by a factor of maybe 2 on the stall count.
Wow.
So we can host any big event, and that's one of our goals, is to reach out and do more international events. The Washington, D.C. is bidding for the 2024 Olympics, so we reached out to them and say, we want to be your equine venue. We have 2 board members over at the World Equestrian Games in Normandy, France. They were held in 2010 at the Kentucky Horse Park, so we want to bid on that. So we want to turn this back into just a world-class facility, and to do that, we have to expand our reach at home, and we need to reach across the ocean and say, come on over to Virginia.
I can't imagine how exciting it would be to host the Olympics here.
Exciting and terrifying at the same time.
Exactly.
It's a big project. We'd have to spend tons of money on infrastructure and getting things the way they need to be. But the excitement. John Nicholson, formerly of the Kentucky Horse Park, has been working with us, and he hosted those World Equestrian Games one year, and he said it was unbelievably exciting. Just everybody was just pumped up for months and years, and so that kind of event, signature event that you hang your hat, that kind of makes your whole professional life if you're running the place, but you're scared to death something's going to go wrong. So I think it would be a great challenge, but in the back of my mind, I'm going, wow, that's a biggie. But I think we have the ability, I think the state has the ability, the Virginia government, the federal government of the United States, to work with us to pull it off. And we have a very good relationship with Rockbridge County and the city of Lexington. So I think in terms of how we make it work, because of our government relationships, I think we could pull it off. I really do. That and this great facility. There's no question that this great facility would attract anybody who was planning that kind of event.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about the infrastructure. Now, your title is currently interim director. Give our viewers an idea of what's going on, why you're an interim director, and what's happening with the center.
Well, I'm an interim director because I don't live in Lexington. I live 2.5 hours away in Warrenton, Virginia, and I came in to help them basically solve the problem. So we found ourselves in what I think in the corporate world they'd call a workout, and we were working on getting our finances straight and getting our interest paid and refinancing our debt and doing all these complicated things, and that required a stable of consultants. And so these consultants are really great. They're really fun to work with, but we have to restructure the management so that we have that kind of professionalism and that kind of talent in our everyday staffing. And so that's a challenge. So we're working on that because we'd like to put together a permanent staff that is every bit as talented as our consultants, and some or all of us may play a role in that eventually. But right now we're still in the formation stage. We've stomped all the fires out. We've cleaned up all the embers and the burn. Now we're slowly starting to fixing things and repairing things and building systems that work and can continue to work in the long run.
And you guys are basically run by a board of directors, the Virginia Horse Foundation.
The Virginia Horse Center Foundation owns and operates the facility. They're a 501c3. So we are all working with a great board of directors, and we're expanding it as we speak. I mean, we've got 2 new members for our September 9th meeting. We're working on a 3rd new member, and I was talking to a quarter horse expert today and asking if he wanted to be, the 4th new member. So I think we're reaching out and trying to make sure that we have the right people on the board and the right staff to really get it up to the Olympic, World Equestrian Game caliber, management.
Absolutely. That's so exciting.
It really is. I mean, we kind of wake up in the morning, and John was just here. We're we're sitting here we're pinching ourselves talking about all the great stuff that can happen here. And it's really fun. It's really energizing. I go home and I'm exhausted because I work with all these type A motivated people, and then I go home, I'm like, man, they just wear you out. But it's very fun, and they're very motivated. They're very, very good. We have put together a team of great professionals, and I know that this may not be the best horse center in the United States, but right now it has the best management team. There's no question in my mind.
But in my mind, and I feel like it's in yours too, it has the potential to be the best.
No question about it. I mean, if we can fulfill our plans and do all the things we want to do, everybody in America, and certainly in the horse industry in America, will go, that's it. That's the really, really great horse center.
Well, I get the feeling, because of its size, and honestly your location, you're right off of Route 81, so you're very accessible. Is there ever a dull moment around here? What kind of things go on? I know it has to be year-round.
I'm told in the winter it's fairly quiet, but there are events year-round, and we run upward to 80, 90 to 100 events a year, depending on the economy. So there's always something happening. There's always a horse show, and sometimes there's multiple horse shows. So it is very, and when they're not multiple horse shows, you're always trying to fix what's broken and take care of the facility when you have some downtime.
And it's not just shows, you guys also host clinics.
We host dog shows, we host music events, we've done all kinds of things, and we're talking about some new events, arena polo and different things like that people do with horses. And so we're trying to fill the schedule and get the maximum amount of exposure and crowd participation and economic development as we can. And so we're looking to fill all the gaps in our schedule with something.
So a center this size has got to require a lot of funding. Where does the funding come from to keep the center operational?
Well, the primary money from operations comes from operations. I mean, literally our revenue stream from our horse shows, whether we own the horse show or someone else comes in here and we rent them the facility. And we run pretty tight, but pretty close on operations. And so luckily for us, we get a percentage of the occupancy tax, which pays our USDA debt interest, and that's our mortgage. So it pays our mortgage. And that has recently changed. We got a little raise on that this year, which means we're now able to completely pay it. Before we had a deficit, we had to pay it out of operations, and that kind of crippled operations. So we've really gotten that part of our financial structure sorted out. It's supplemented by donations to the foundation. And people, we recently did a light campaign. We raised $125,000. We spent about $100,000 so far. We need to go move some more lights down to the East Arena from the main arena. And we constantly have projects like fixing the women's bathrooms and cleaning this. And so we go out and raise donations to do that. And that is really a full-time job. And we raise $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a year to make up for the operational deficit we might have, or to help us with deferred maintenance and capital improvements. And that was difficult in the middle 2000s, 2008, 9, 10, 11. It was, with the economic downturn, it was tough. I mean, even wealthy people that have supported us didn't support us as strongly as they had before. So we're having to get it really cranked back up again, and people are getting back into the giving mind, and they want to see results. So if they want to give me money to fix the bathroom, great, but when I come back, the bathroom better be fixed. And so we understand that, and so we are out recruiting every day, new money, partially for the transition team, partially for capital improvements and deferred maintenance. And it's a whole section of our company or center, whatever you want to call it, that has its own department and its own people and is working all the time. And we probably spend as much time as a management team and as a board and as an executive committee thinking about that and working on that. That is a big deal for us it's like being a college. You have to raise a lot of money to make all the numbers work.
Absolutely. Well, if our viewers want more information, either to donate or even find schedules of what's going on, what should they do?
They should go to www.horsecenter.org.
Glenn, thanks so much for having us out today. It's been a lot of fun.
Thank you. Go enjoy the horse show.
Will do. We'll be right back. To keep plants healthy, it's necessary to do some pruning. In this segment, Mark Viette shares why midsummer is a great time for pruning. Let's go in the garden.
As you walk through your garden, you might notice plants like this, plants which have been damaged by woodpeckers, and in this case this is a viburnum, and the woodpeckers were looking for borers. There's only a couple main trunks left, the rest we've removed. You'll see lots of nice new growth coming up from the base. Midsummer pruning is great for fruit trees, apples, especially pears, because when you do a midsummer pruning, you don't get a lot of new excessive growth. Now, I find by walking through the garden in the summer, I'll miss things that normally I would have done the rejuvenation pruning in March, but I find midsummer is an excellent time. And in this case, I would come in and remove these 4 main trunks and start over. And in about 3 years, I'm going to have a beautiful viburnum about my height. It's really easy to do. I always recommend that you walk around your tree or shrub 3 or 4 times, because once you make the cut, it's done. You can't put it back together again. When you're looking even at your trees, consider cleaning them up, make them look more attractive. And in this case, on the Blue Atlas cedar, to look at more of these major trunks, I might come in and even remove this small limb right here. Paying attention to the garden really helps reveal lots of things. And one of those things might be dead, dying branches, and this is a fringe tree. It's already being pruned and we're removing the dead branches, but I'm looking at it now and I'm seeing a lot of dead branches. At the same time, it's not attractive. There are certain trees that you can come in and cut them back. Now, this is not one I would cut back to the ground, but I might go ahead and cut this back to about 5 feet and let it regrow. But again, study your plants, you do some research online, look at some books to make sure at least what you're going to do is not going to kill your plant. On this fringe tree, you can see lots of nice basal growth coming up from the bottom and mid part of this tree. Midsummer pruning helps reduce excessive growth. If I had pruned this early in the year, it would probably have 3 times as many shoots. This is a branch I cut about a month ago, and it looks nice, and this will continue to give me the tree. This is one that I'm going to prune. It's been damaged here on the side, and some of the branches up top are dead, so I would come in and prune this. Always when you're pruning, wear protective eyewear, goggles. Remember, branches are very heavy, and they can weigh hundreds of pounds, but I would come in, remove this branch here, and then again down here lower, and let this turn back into, let some of these, and probably this one here will turn into this branch in about 3 years. Wow, it really looks like I damaged this tree, but I can tell you, the original tree will thank me that I pruned it this way. 5 years from now, it's going to look better than ever. Don't be afraid of summer pruning. I'm Mark Viette. Join me next time in the garden.
Taking a look at the ag calendar, American Dexter Cattle Association National Championship Show and Sale will take place June 18th through the 21st at the Rockingham County Fairgrounds. Dexter enthusiasts will be on hand from all across the United States, and this is the first time the organization has held their National Championship Show and Sale east of the Mississippi River. For more information, visit dextercattle.org. That does it for our show. Thanks so much for watching and have a great week. I'm Amy Rocher for Virginia Farming.
We all want healthy rivers and streams, but we can't do that without help from Virginia's landowners. Resource Management Plans, or RMPs, are part of a voluntary program that helps farmers get credit for cleaning up our waters. And once you have an RMP, you are exempt from any new water quality requirements for 9 years. The Virginia Department of Conservation and Recreation has funds available to help you implement these plans. Contact the department today to learn more. Thank you.
This message sponsored by Virginia's agriculture community. From apples to zucchini, Virginia farmers work hard to put food on your table. And Farm Bureau works year-round to help farmers and all Virginians. Farming, it's all good. To learn more, go to vafarmbureau.org.